United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wheeland is attending remotely, I believe. Keith, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve the minutes from August 25th, 2025 regular meeting.
So moved.
Make them up. Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, a motion to approve employee claims filed with the county auditor for $3,156.53.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approve the claims filed with the county auditor for $368,198.63.
So moved.
Second.
Favor? Aye.
Aye.
Approve the resignation of Steve Marlow, a Washburg Township trustee position.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is the board gonna proceed to do a little research to find a replacement? If I recall, he served for numerous years. Maybe there's some other trustees that may have someone in mind and possibly reaching out to them.
Okay.
Volunteering to.
No, it wasn't me volunteering. I'm striking out on the last two I volunteered for, so.
I guess the last time I will volunteer to
All right.
research that. Approve the home business permit for Ida Kauffman.
Okay, so this is located on 140th Street, section 25 of Fairbank Township. So what is highlighted in blue is where Ida Kauffman lives. And then the structures and buildings to the south is where her brother lives. There was a current dog kennel on the brother's property that burnt down. And since it burnt down, she wanted to relocate it onto her property, which is the reason why we're taking the request for a new home industry permit application. The structure is going to go roughly about here. As you can see, this is her septic field, so we needed to make sure that we stayed off of that. Other than that, this has already been existing. Again, we're just treating this as a new one because it's going to be located on her property instead of the brother's.
And this is for a dog kennel or
This
breeding? Or
Yes. Nope, no breeding, just the dog kennel portion of it. So,
how many dogs is this? You know,
it fluctuates. I want to say the max that she's ever had was about 48. And it's gone as low as, 24. So it fluctuates.
any questions or comments from the board?
I don't have any questions.
No.
If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the home business permit for Ida Kauffman.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Two, approve the monthly report for the recorder's office of $15,224.16. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Approve the payroll authorization for Kaylea Gosnell, legal assistant and crime victim witness coordinator, county attorney's office for $44,000 per year.
He got a person applied and he got in the position that was vacant, so I make the motion to approve that payroll authorization.
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approve the date for a public hearing on a zoning request.
Oh, resolutions here in your packet. There's one request that Amber sent up. I have it set for September 29th at 9:15.
I make a motion to, have a public hearing for the zoning request September 29th at 9:15.
What was the name on that one, Chris?
The Raber?
Vernon Beachy,
Oh,
sorry.
close.
Yeah, Vernon Beachy.
Beachy?
Beachy, going from A1 agriculture to R3 residential.
That was one we were correcting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, for the schoolhouse. Yes.
Okay.
I'll second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approve the monthly fund balance report and monthly budget report.
Fund balance reports were in your packet along with each departmental on where they're at right now. We will be having to do a budget amendment under the courts department due to a very large claim that came in of court-ordered attorney fees for guardianship. So we had originally budgeted $5,600 for that department, and we're already $1,238.44 over budget. But with those court orders, there's absolutely nothing we can do about it.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Good. Place on file the following manure management plans. Super 8 Westburg Township, section 35. Don Kortenkamp, Buffalo Township, section 12. Pork Chop Ranch, Liberty Township, section 15. Hoffman Site, Fairbank Township, section 18. Honey Creek Pork LLC, Newton Township, section 26. I need a motion to place those on the docket.
I will make a motion to place the manure management plans on file.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
We're gonna have to skip down to some other ones.
Yeah. You want to go down to discuss your floor maintenance at the senior center? Sure.
Senior center floor needs definitely stripped and re-waxed, probably about 2 coats of wax put on it now that all the construction is done. And the bid that we got was right around $5,000 to do it. Our genders do not seem to have the time to do this, so I don't know what we want to do. It's a
Seems
big
a little
area.
high.
It sounds extremely high. I think we need to coordinate with the custodial staff to get it done. If we can clear the furniture out or to the side or something.
Right, well, we'll probably have that building's being used every day for meals Monday through Friday, so what we'll need to do is authorize some overtime or weekend work to do that. How
Do we
wanna
have
do it?
overtime already in the budget?
No.
I think that's a great idea.
I don't, without pulling my budget book, I don't believe there was any overtime budgeted for custodial staff.
Tim?
Is
Hey,
there anybody else in the area that does something like this? I honestly don't know.
Yeah, CC's Floors and Morris, the one who submitted the proposal.
Yeah, I think it's in your packet.
And, I don't know if there's anybody else in the area that is just going to come in and do it. It's hard to find custodials anymore, people that do floors.
I think before we make a decision, we need to reach out and see if there's anybody else that we can find. Otherwise, I'm gonna talk to the custodial staff and see what we can work out.
Well, I think if we have the machinery and they have the capability of doing it.
They
I
certainly
think
do.
it's just, why don't, I would, authorize the board chair to talk to the custodial staff to arrange that and see if they can maybe come in on weekends or evenings and do comp time, or probably the weekends would be best. And give them comp time to do it. Figure out
Seems like a
something.
good option. Yeah.
Figure something out.
Okay,
But I think they've got to take responsibility for it. we bought the buffer and everything for them. They need to make use of it.
Yes, they do. And while you're talking about that, maybe we could talk about the floors in the courthouse. In this area.
For the third year. Okay, so I'm going to,
Are you in agreement with that, Keith?
Yes. Sounds good.
okay, next, discuss, House File 706 procedure.
This is kind of in combination with the next item too. With that new legislation, any newly elected officials, commissioners, board members appointed by you folks need to have the, open meeting law training. It's required. Kind of sounds like there's different counties that are handling it different, like I always say, 99 counties, 99 different ways on who all they're requiring to take this training. If the training is not taken, these volunteers slash get paid $50 a year are subject to fines. This has to be recorded and tracked by the governing body. IPIB does have some training available. There is other vendors that have training. As of right now, they're working with ISAC to see if they're even going to consider approved vendors as presenters. So I guess basically means we need a zoning commissioner, we need 2 trustees. I'm kind of asking for the board to put together some type of policy or procedure so we have this in place. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, is it 90 days? They need to have this training done?
Right, but
Okay,
I think so. That was what I was reading when I was reading it. But it also says that Iowa Public Information Board shall, I believe is the word used, shall have training available at no charge.
yes, and they do, but the problem is they don't have enough of it for everything that's going at them right now.
Is there any online courses for this that we can have done through maybe HR or through somebody?
I don't have any idea. This is something you guys have to make the decision on. I'm just asking for something in place sooner than later.
Yeah, our temporary stopgap is, Sean's reached out to IPIB to have them come in and do some training, and then Independence Public Library has also set up, or reached out to do some training. So that would be the stopgap, but like you said, Chris, we need to set up a policy to kind of get this in the future.
Well, that stopgap only works if we have newly appointed ones and that timing works out right. I mean, I understand you're trying to come up with stopgaps, and I believe this is a probably ridiculous legislation, in my opinion, because everybody gets this training anyway. However, we're now stuck with dealing with it, so here it is.
I don't know what the dates are at IPEB's training, but according to this email, it's limited to 175 participants per training. So I don't know, and I'm assuming this training is probably held during the day. A lot of these volunteers and commissioners or board members, they work during the day. I'm not sure how the board wants to handle it. I just don't want the county to get into a lawsuit.
Maybe it's time for everybody to write their legislators and say we need online courses available that were pre-recorded so people can take them at their leisure, especially since these commission boards and zoning members are working for no money. Once again, our legislators have put the cart before the horse and not thought this through.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And now we're stuck trying to deal with it. Sorry, I'm grumpy today. Especially with
But
this.
that doesn't change the fact that we have to have something in place.
That's right.
I mean, because if you folks come up with 2 new trustees in the next 2 weeks, they have 90 days to take this training. And we need to know who's going to track that they've done the training, who's going to keep this information in case somebody wants an open records request on it.
Well, I think that like with planning and zoning, they can let Amber know when they've taken the training. And Amber can keep record of it. Amber's office. And then, with the other commissions, that's a lot to put on some of these, especially on some of these commission chairs. So do we have them then maybe when they take the training, just let the auditor's office know?
I would need a copy of all their certification.
Based on the legislation, it's on newly appointed,
Right,
not current,
right.
which makes it a little easier to handle, but,
Right.
it's still. We're gonna have to come up with a form that could be used universally throughout every department and each commissioner or board. So they could track their own people.
I'm
If they get a
assuming,
new one.
there's like a
But keep in
certificate.
mind, most of it, and we're gonna have to go to our public hearing, these are your boards. So this is something that either the board's gonna have to do, or you're gonna have to basically assign it for someone to do.
The board secretary.
We better jump into the public hearing.
Oh, this one's a favorite.
Yeah, good one, Raber, yeah.
Okay, I need a motion to open the public hearing for the zoning request for Brady.
I'll make that motion
the-
to open.
Second,
In favor?
Aye.
We are now in public hearing. Okay,
So this request is located in section 28 of Fairbanks Township. They are looking to rezone 2.6 acres from A1 agricultural to A2 agricultural for his daughter to have a single family home established. If you drove past, this is a unique situation where they ended up constructing the home before the zoning took place. Sometimes there's miscommunication and not understanding of how things work with the zoning ordinance. So this is a situation where the house and accessory shed has already been established. So rezoning in that general area will get them into compliance for their intent. We had 10 neighbors that were notified of their request. We had no one respond with any concerns or questions. There was 50% 38 CSR, 35% 40 CSR, 14% 52 CSR, and 1% 51 CSR. So thankfully it was established on some lower CSR ground, which made the request a little bit easier to recommend for approval. And it was not located in the floodplain. Other than that, the setbacks were definitely met. The requirement was 50 feet from the front yard. It's set back more than 100 feet when I measured it that when it was out there. And then the side yard is 25 feet. Again, they've exceeded that. And then the rear yard at 50. And they've also exceeded that. Just kind of covering the bases here. So where the yellow is outlined was just a general location of where we thought it was going to go based on the measurements that I took compared to where the house was constructed. So there was a question on P&Z nights about the property. Well, this little area, whoops, right here, questioning potentially why they didn't want to go that route. I didn't have an answer other than they constructed the house where they wanted it to go. But that land there to the west will remain in the father's name. And then I do believe that they're going to have an easement from the front of the road back to the house since it's such a long lane. So that will be also established as well.
and the easement would be where, Amber?
I want to say it's pretty close to right here.
Okay.
And it is a very, very long lane.
You said they already constructed the house?
They did, yes. Yep,
So the alternative is to have them tear the house down, because they're in,
right, yes, I mean, yeah. And I know it happens a lot throughout the area. A lot of people just aren't aware of the zoning ordinance and that you have to have things in place before you can just.
Or they are aware and they just do it anyway.
That's possible, yes. It is possible.
Are there any more questions on the Raber zoning request?
What was the CSR on this?
It was
It was, yeah, 50s and so we had 38, 40, 52, and 51.
Okay, so it's all below the 55.
It is, yes.
Keith, do you have any questions?
Nope, that's it.
Is there anything from the audience?
I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Favor? Aye.
I make a motion
Aye.
to approve the rezoning.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
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 Oh,
9:20, it's time to open the public hearing for the Frye zoning request. If I could have a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are now in public hearing.
So this is for the Dean Frye request, and he called on August 27th, so after the P and Z meeting took place in August. He had called on the 27th to remove his request with the supervisors, knowing that the CSR was extremely high and more than likely wasn't going to be approved. And also the original intent was for this property to be for his son, and his son ended up finding another location to construct his house. But just to note here, the CSR was 100% 85 CSR, and that was taking all of it out of production. So therefore, I didn't recommend the request, and then there was a unanimous vote by the P and Z to deny the request as well due to that, but
Okay. So we just don't need to do anything with this, close the public hearing and
And deny the request.
deny the request.
I would, in the motion, just make your motion to deny the request upon Mr. Frye's basically change of mind.
I need first a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I need a motion to deny the request per Mr. Frye withdrawing the request.
I would make a motion to. Yeah, what you said, John.
Need a second.
Can you second that?
No, I will not.
You're not gonna make a second to deny it for Mr. Fry's withdrawing? His request?
Withdrawing? He's
Yeah, he
withdrawing the
withdrew-
request? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
sorry, yes, he called on August 27th to remove his request with you guys.
Yeah, I missed that part. Thank you. I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have a couple minutes. Can I share something?
Yes.
So this is the email chain for the comp plan that was requested to go to Sean. Keith, I will email that to you when I get back down to the office. Do you have a copy of it?
Thank you.
But Sean had requested that Josh take a look at it, and he's been through it, reviewed it, and then reviewed it against Iowa code and felt everything was good to go.
Good.
I was just sharing that with you all.
What does it have in it for battery energy storage systems, data mining, solar, wind, geothermal?
You would probably have to read that, Keith.
Um,
Yep.
discussion.
We just recently done, well, you were aware, we just recently completed the one on wind and there was one previously completed on solar. And that would be ordinances.
Shift gears, I've got 9:25. It's time to open the public hearing for the Rosburg subdivision zoning request for reading. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Give you guys, this is our checklist of what we go off of.
Amber, I have a question on this one. So have we previously gone through this and rezoned it to where we can
Yep,
divide it?
yes, so the rezoning already took place. That was under Doug and Neil, and I think Janelle Rappin.
Okay.
Originally for the rezoning request, they sold it to Michael Rosburg, which he will be doing the subdivision on. Okay, so this one, is on 220th Street, so section 1 of Sumner Township. We had 11 neighbors notified of the major subdivision. Again, nobody had reached out to us with any questions or concerns. Sorry, I'm gonna take 2. So the total right along the front there is listed at 19.31 acres. A little bit hard to kind of see. So when this was originally proposed with the rezoning, there was supposed to be 8 lots. That has been reduced down to 4 lots, with the 2 there in the center are a little bit wider to encompass the natural waterway there. So that's why 1 lot was taken away. To kind of make these a little bit larger, so they.
That's Gallup's farm. It's just to the east there, right?
Yes, that is correct. Yep. So on the platted survey, they do have the setbacks listed at 50 feet and then the 25 feet on the side. Going off of the preliminary plat checklist, everything was in compliance. I will note that number 9, which is areas dedicated for public use, was not applicable to this. And then along with 17 and 18, which is basically flood elevation and environmental studies, did not pertain to this request. But they are definitely in compliance. They did have the city approve it since it is located within that 2-mile radius of the city of Independence. They passed it on the 25th day of August, and then pending approval of today, it will go back to the PMZ for the final review. Hopefully next month.
So plans for 4.
Technically 7, there'd be 1 home on each lot.
Okay.
Yes.
I think the only question we had when we met with Rathmans earlier was driveway accesses. That's a lot of driveways on that busy highway.
They're doing. Go back.
Are we going to like maybe a frontage road along the front of these or with 1 driveway?
Yeah.
Stretched it out.
Third, let me. Oh, here's like the outline for lots 7 and 6 right here, driveway here. So it's basically just sharing driveways here. And then this lot would share with Rosburg.
So there's
Right
1,
there,
2, 3,
so-
4 driveways,
Yes,
4 new driveways, and then the shared. This one here on the end would
3
be
new because Rosburg is already established. Yep.
3 new.
That helps considerably.
Yes. Yes.
Keith, do you have any more questions?
No, thank you.
Any questions from the audience? I will entertain a motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good. Now we need a motion to approve the zoning request.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the zoning request or actually it's not a zoning, a preliminary request.
Do we need to read this 3 times or is this just once?
The preliminary is just once. The final review does get three readings. Generally, if we don't have any neighbors that are calling with concerns, I typically ask to waive the second and third reading for the final.
I'll second. Thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna skip to the food pantry since they're here. And, we had originally tried to have them at 9:15, so we'll, welcome our food pantry representatives up to the front. You can sit in the pew. It's just like church.
Sit in the front and
Does the food bank want to be up here with?
Jan, you wanna come on? No.
You're good.
Got it.
I'm from the food bank.
You wanna come on up or not? That'd be great.
Why not?
Sometimes we can hear you better. Well, welcome. All right, what can we learn from you guys today?
Well, it's Hunger Action Month in September, which is really important. In Northeast Iowa, over 45,000 Northeast Iowans are food insecure. I know in Buchanan County alone, 2,120 people are food insecure, and that number includes 1 in 7 children. So it's very important for us to just be here today to let you guys know of all the work being done to provide meals to kids and families. Last year alone, in Buchanan County, 454,000 meals were served in Buchanan County. Our backpack program that we have at the Northeast Iowa Food Bank served 215 kids every single week. Very important work that we're doing, especially at the Independence Food Pantry. You want to say anything?
Does those numbers include independence or independence is separate from that?
Well, the food bank that's located in Waterloo, we serve, it's one of our pantries is Independence.
So you're talking these numbers are through the food pantries then?
Yes,
Okay, they're not individually by you.
right.
Me?
Yeah, go
You-
for it.
I'm Brenda Rispet, and have been involved with our local food pantry a long time. You may recall, we recently had an open house celebrating our 40th anniversary serving Buchanan County. We also celebrated our recent move, supported by this incredible group, the county supervisors, and so we appreciate that site. The numbers that we have are that in the last year, we've served 736 unique families here in Buchanan County, and that involves about 1,800 people. And so generally speaking actually it's about 9% of the total number of families in Buchanan County. And we also have served about 15% of those that we've served are so generally we see about 800 people a month that come through our little pantry here. We've long had a relationship with the food bank, and just out of curiosity, I did some digging, and last year we spent about $27,000 on food. We purchased $6,500 of that from the food bank. This year so far, we spent about $20,000 on food because we've seen increases in the numbers that are coming through. And so by the end of the year, we'll probably anticipate spending about $40,000 just on food. And so far about $11,400 of that we've paid to the food bank for purchasing food items there. We're staffed by 1 full-time person, Jan, who many of you know, and then we have 2 part-time. staff people who work there, and then a multitude of incredible volunteers who help us keep the doors open every day. So, we're kind of proud of our little small town food pantry. What questions might I be able to ask?
I'm sure part of the increase is the better visibility and accessibility of the location. Has a lot
Well, and
to
that's
do with
thanks to you. Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No, but that was the whole reason I chose that location, and I'm glad to hear that it's working out well.
Oh, and certainly it has been. You know, we've been able to expand space. It allows us additional, storage space for things, and it's very nice.
I'm happy that it's getting used for a good purpose.
Right.
Allowed us to dispose of one more building that we don't need to maintain. This one's in a much better condition than the old.
The other one had been flooded a few times.
Yeah.
So what else, Don?
I just want to double check and make sure that the last fix we did for that back door, it's no longer raining on the inside.
That's, I believe that's been correct.
Oh, good.
Yes, so not a concern.
One building, we don't have rain coming in on the inside.
Other questions? Keith, you have any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
I do want to add on, Jan, I think, came up with a statistic that, in Buchanan County, what was it, 8.4% of,
80.4% of the population in Buchanan. Low income, and that endangers them, of course, for food access. And so we were kind of surprised that, we literally serve almost 10% of the population here. And so hopefully we've been able to target quite a few of those folks.
this is good. That's what we're there for.
I think you guys have a real good relationship with local grocery stores too, that make donations, which is incredible and very much appreciated. So
This community has been incredible. This county has been absolutely incredible in their support. And of course, we can't do it without our village.
sure.
If I can add, the food bank, we serve 127 agencies, pantries in Northeast Iowa. And the Independence Food Pantry is considered one of our strongest and finest. So we thank you guys.
That's nice to hear.
Appreciate
Good job, guys.
it.
Now you've got a good team of people out here. Very good. Any other questions? And if not,
Do you want to approve that proclamation that was sent about 10 to 8 this morning to us?
I haven't seen it. I suppose I should read this, shouldn't I?
You can do whatever you want.
You are the
You wanna
voice.
read this?
I tell you what to do.
Why don't you?
Is that a challenge? I love a challenge. All right, so this came from the Northeast Iowa Food Bank, Hunger Action Month. I'm assuming this is Hunger Action Month.
It is September
2025 Hunger Action Month proclamation. Whereas hunger and poverty are issues of vital concern in Buchanan County. In Northeast Iowa, over 45,000 people face hunger and over 13,000 are children who do not know where their next meal will come from. And whereas Buchanan County is committed to taking steps to combat hunger in every part of our community and to provide additional resources that those in Buchanan County need. And whereas Buchanan County is committed to working with the Northeast Iowa Food Bank, a member of the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks, in educating people about the role and importance of food banks in addressing hunger and raising awareness of the need to devote more resources and attention to hunger issues. And whereas more individuals in Buchanan County rely on food provided by the members of the Northeast Iowa Food Bank annually. Whereas the coronavirus pandemic has devastated health and economic impacts across the county and country. And it is projected that more people could face hunger in Buchanan County in the wake of the pandemic this year. And whereas the members of the Northeast Iowa Food Bank distributed more than 8.6 million meals to Northeast Iowa's in 2025 through its network of food pantries, member agencies, shelters, and other community organizations. And whereas the month of September has been designated Hunger Action Month in order to bring attention to food insecurity in our communities and to enlist the public in the fight to end hunger by taking action, including volunteership, social media shares, and donations, to ensure nobody has to make an impossible choice between food and other necessities like medicine, utilities, or childcare. And whereas food banks across the country, including Northeast Iowa Food Bank, will host numerous events throughout the month of September to bring awareness and help end hunger in their local community. Now, therefore, we, the Buchanan County Board of Supervisors, do hereby recognize September 25th as Hunger Action Month in Buchanan County, and we call this observance to the attention of our citizens. I make a motion to accept the proclamation as read
You have the chair sign.
and have the chair sign.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Photo op.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us today. We appreciate that.
I really appreciate everything you guys do. You go out in front, you get a picture. Or-
Are you going all the way up there or up there? Well, then I gotta,
Well,
then I
yeah,
gotta
we
climb
gotta
that
go.
mountain.
I guess I don't want to sit in a box's lap. That would be-
Right.
Come on,
We going over here?
ladies. Jan, you wanna come up or not? No.
Come on, Jen. Come on, please.
All right.
Great.
Everybody ready? Okay, ready?
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Look over here, look over
Oh my God, you can.
here. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys very much. Thank you.
Appreciate everything you guys do.
Happy birthday.
You too.
We have to get together at midnight on the third.
Thanks. Mary.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Back to our agenda. We need to discuss the renewal of the medical examiner contract and the medical examiner.
Okay,
Oh,
that, that contract expires at the end of the year. I have sent it to the hospital for them to review. I also sent it up to Josh to take a look at. He did find a couple very minor things, so it's up to the board on what they want to do. According to the code 331-801, it states that the term will commence on the first day of January that is not a weekend or a holiday. Well, our contract states January 1st,
and that's a holiday.
so we need to make a wording change. So I'll fix that. The other thing is that this when this was put in place, how many years ago, there was not a agreement to terminate put in there. So I don't know, he brought that up. So is that something the board wants to do? I mean, you gotta remember by code, we are required to have medical examiners. So I can't imagine wanting to, I guess I shouldn't say that anything is possible. But there is no termination clause in this agreement. So do you want something drafted? I would have Josh help with that. I did also send this information to the hospital and I have not heard back from them.
I don't think we would need an end date or a termination date on it. And can you?
It's if we needed to terminate early. So if, you know how things tend to happen around here. If something did happen with the medical examiner groups and all of a sudden the county wanted to get out of the contract and contract with something else for medical examiner. We don't have that clause unless we wait till our agreement terms. And I believe I think we have a 2-year or 3-year agreement. Let me look. 2-year agreement.
So what you're saying is there's no clause in there that if we were to
Terminate
give notice early,
Correct.
that we could
Yep.
terminate.
Is there a clause in there that says if the hospital all of a sudden were to close its doors for some unfortunate reason that, because the medical examiners come out of our hospital typically.
Correct, they do. In the contract, it gives the dates of when the agreement shall commence, which we'll fix that. And then item B, any amendments or modifications to this agreement shall be effective only if writing and executed by both parties. Item C, if any provision of this agreement is declared by court to be illegal or in conflict with any law, the validity of the remaining terms and provisions shall not be affected, and the rights and obligations of the parties shall be construed and enforced as if the contract did not contain the particular provision held to be invalid. Item D, the law in the state of Iowa shall govern and construe and enforce all the rights and duties of the parties arising out of or relating in any way to subject matter of this agreement.
I would suggest maybe we give it to the county attorney's office, see if Josh can insert a clause in there about
In
Sure.
case
in
something,
case of an early termination
Right.
or whatever,
Right.
okay,
just to have that in there.
Mhm.
I doubt if this will ever come to be, but,
sometime we don't, it will.
there you go.
Can you read that first part that we had discussed about the holidays?
Yeah, we'll have to, I read what it is right
Yeah,
now.
can you read what it is right now? Because I think it actually.
It says
looks
this
about-
agreement shall commence on January 1st of 2026. That's for this upcoming. So we're going to have to change that to,
Unless,
let me find my email. Basically to read commence the first day of January that is not a weekend or holiday. That's how I'm gonna have to change the wording.
perfect.
Okay,
So-
I'll have Josh take a
So
look
if
at
we-
that.
Please go ahead.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, so if we change that terminology, is our last contract going to be able to continue until this next contract begins? Because there will be a couple days between January 1st and when this next one would begin. So that might be something to ask Josh about as well while we're on the topic.
Right, we would sign this before January 1st, so then that would be cut, that would cover it.
When does our current contract expire though? Is that the 31st or does it continue on?
December 31st.
Yeah, okay, so we might have a couple days in there that we have to put a stopgap in or,
Didn't have,
I will ask Josh how to handle it.
Yeah.
To see how he wants it done.
yeah, thanks for that.
And maybe he wants to change it that it expires December 31st and commences, or expires December 30th and then commences December 31st. I don't know. I'll ask him.
Yeah, great.
And then as far as I did send them, the hospital, a copy of all of our current medical examiners. and to see if those were all the ones that would continue or if there's any addition or corrections, and I have not heard back.
So we clearing what we're doing here?
Clear as mud.
Would someone like to make a motion to have me speak with Josh to get the wording updated?
I would make a motion to have this wonderful county auditor speak with our county attorney's office to have the wording be updated. Thank you, Chris.
Get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
You wanna go back to that fun subject of House File 706?
It really makes me grumpy.
We can. I know IPIP is offering the training for free,
Mhm.
and it is intended for
Newly
Newly
elected
appointed.
or appointed.
I think the first couple classes were loaded with existing people, which clogged up the system immensely.
It did.
I would just like to have some procedure or policy in place as we move forward. That if something happens that these commissioners or newly elected, whomever they may be, cannot get into the free training, that we have a way to get them into a different training. And I personally feel this is something that the county should pay for, because I guarantee if you get a township trustee, a new person, and they have to spend $75 to go to training, it's not gonna happen. And unfortunately, what will happen is we're not gonna get anybody to take that position as a
Right.
trustee. Do we have that budgeted? Absolutely not.
They have to be, and
We'll have to figure out something.
I know it's the county. is
There's another
developing
one, yes.
But it is at a cost. It's
The extension board did the same thing. Well, theirs is 50.
Correct. And
Iowa State Extension.
yes, and the Iowa State Extension is basically the ones that have the rules and regulations for trustees and clerk and all their training in place.
Can we make a motion? Can we get them to, if they're not able to get into the free one from the Iowa Public Information Board, that they go to the county extension office and take that one
If it's available,
If
that's
available.
the kicker. Yeah,
at the county's expense?
that's what I personally would like to see, but like I said, it's not my decision.
Well, I agree. It should be, it should not be a cost to the appointee. But I think the county's gonna have to pick up.
Once said class is taken, all documents and certifications need to be forwarded to the county auditor's office to keep on file. Because you have their initial application, so we
Yep.
put it with that.
Do we need to have somebody draft a form for us that we can use to, so it's consistent?
The certification will come from wherever they take the class. I will have to update the form that we're currently using to include a line that, you know, you will be responsible for this training, blah, 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 within this time, blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you're subject to blah, 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 fine. I will have to update that form.
We will not have anybody that will ever want to step forward for another board commission again.
Yes.
Keith, as our IPIB representative, do you have any influence on getting some additional training?
I see your wink there. It's a pretty good camera.
Because it's such a wonderful board, and our state legislators and all their infinite wisdom never apply these same rules to themselves. I just want it to be made note of that when they're down there in Des Moines making legislation, they go into caucus before the legislation hits the floor. Sometimes the legislation does not hit the floor. None of us are allowed to go into the caucus with them to see exactly what's being said. and you have representatives going to the Republicans going to their office and Democrats going to their office. Now, you want to talk about transparency, let's go to that level. Sorry, I'm off my soapbox now.
So we'll, agree that the county,
Will you put it in, will you put it in a motion, or can the board please put it in a motion?
I will ask for a motion that authorizes the county to reimburse any attendees for training for newly appointed board or commission volunteers.
I will make that motion. And citations will be sent to the county auditor's office.
As
Second,
amended. Thank you. All in favor?
that's amendment. Aye.
Aye.
Good.
Are all these classes in Lemoyne?
Bonnie has a question. They're online, Bonnie.
They were online.
Some are in person, the majority are online.
They also have them both in the evening and in midday. It's the one Wednesday is, I think it's from 12 to 1:30 or something like that.
That's the last couple of them have been.
The one before that one was on a Monday night because I couldn't go, so my wife attended my place. I do have a question though. Are you, when the appointed, the newly appointed for your board members, does that also include newly reappointed board members?
No, just a
So they have to be brand new.
We might want to get legal clarification on that.
Almost 100%.
That was my impression too, John. That was my impression too, John.
If you're appointed and your appointment runs out, then all of a sudden you're appointed again. That's a new appointment.
That was my question.
That would be somebody wanting to play with
Fair
the
question.
words. Stick. Yeah, we can check with the county attorney's office.
Next item on our agenda was discuss Central Iowa Juvenile Detention Resolution, and we're gonna postpone that. It needs to be discussed in closed session before we vote on that. So we'll put that on next Monday's agenda.
Is it something that can be discussed in closed session? Because that
It
is
has to
only
be.
with,
It involves litigation. It has to be. Sean and I discussed it over the weekend. So next would be board or commission updates. Keith, you wanna go ahead and start?
Sure, just pulling up my notes. Regional Housing Authority, we're still working on the bylaws. A couple weeks ago, I talked about an incumbent worker process, and I inadvertently referred to it as incumbent worker. I intended to describe it as ticket to work. So that is the process that if someone's on Social Security or some sort of disability, that allows them to go through that process and not necessarily lose their status. So that is the ticket to work process, not the incumbent workers. Project 99 is coming to Buchanan County. So that's coming up. That's regarding cancer in Iowa. Clayton Ort described that last week. Northeast Iowa Workforce Development Board, Justice Involved Youth. I'm on that committee. It's a big part of it is getting these kids that are involved with justice, whether it's them or their parents or whatever the issue ended up having to be, getting them into a good working process and a constructive environment. One of which is a returning citizen initiative. So I greatly encourage folks to look into these opportunities that are available, which also includes the work opportunity tax credit. That one also includes qualified vets, vocational rehabilitation referrals, long-term unemployment recipients, ex-felons, and then recipients of TANF, SNAP, and Social Security. There's also a federal bonding program that includes a $25,000 risk insurance for at-risk job seekers during the first 6 months of employment. So that's real benefit to potentially employers looking to hire new at-risk employees. Northeast Iowa Workforce Development Board also has a youth standing committee, and obviously one of those topics is the justice involved use, which I just described. They're going to report on internship grants, updates, the Buchanan County Community Foundation that was award that was just they just received. And then they have a youth summit on October 16th in Mason City, so that's pretty important. Um, Bremer and Wright counties submitted their amicus brief, their joint amicus brief, so I'll forward that on to the county attorneys and see what they say about all that. That is the most of it.
Thank you. Dawn?
Buchanan County Economic Development meant, a lot of what they talk about, I'm not able to actually disclose in public. We did have, at the end, we always say what's going on in our communities, and I would like to bring it out that Brandon does have their cowboy breakfast coming up. So if anybody wants to go to Brandon, I believe it's Raleigh has a fall festival or something in October. I'd have to go back to my notes. Buchanan County Economic Development also has their last lunch and learn called Beat Burnout. That's coming up October 8th. I believe, October 8th from 11 to 1 at Heartland Bakers. So that their lunch and learns are always very good and very well received. On the backside, we're working with, in a different note, we're working with a little bit of the mental rights issues through planning and zoning. I have some information from Wright County that I'm forwarding to them and to Brian Kaylea. Put on my phone. It's going back into August. Oh, we didn't have one for 2 weeks, did we? Oh, the ECR, East Central Region meant they're winding down operations. They meant on the 28th of August. And my last training with the EAP for, I'm not sure what you want to call it, was on the 28th. I was released.
Thank you. Last week, I had quite a few notes I was going to disclose about the Central Iowa Juvenile Detention Center, but that's going to have to be another time. We're members of two different juvenile detention centers, North Iowa out of Waterloo and Central Iowa Juvenile Detention over in Eldora. We're members of both of those commissions, whereas it gives us the opportunity for reduced rates of taking juveniles that need to be incarcerated, either temporarily or term. It's expensive, but they offer transportation services and everything else. So it's a real asset to get them out of our jail and into a juvenile facility. Central Iowa has grown over the last 30 some years to be in, they have past due funding of over $44 million. So it's a huge operation and not without its challenges. They're a great asset. The other thing I wanted to mention is with our paving on the Kowalski Diagonal, we had a meeting with the Concrete Association down at Cedar Rock to talk about the processes of this concrete overlay that they're doing with the fabric underlayment. And it was a really interesting afternoon where we went out and toured the site and looked at it. I think once that project is done, people are going to be amazed at how smooth and safer the Kowalski Diagonal is. This week, they're currently pouring all the shoulders now. All the driveways are already put in. The main line paving is completed as of last week. And right now it's just shoulders. So it'll probably take till the end of the month to get it buttoned up. They're making great progress. as long as people don't drive in the fresh concrete, which we already have happened.
You're done. I have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
9/11 and emergency management did meet. The executive board met previous to the full commission meeting. We are in the process of hiring a deputy coordinator, and the person has accepted the position. At this point in time, they're in the process of getting their fingerprints in, and everything is coming along very well with that. So that's where we're at with that. And there was a new generator discussed, and a 9/11 signs was discussed. Is there anything else discussed, Brad, that I'm missing?
You covered it.
And one more thing before we go to our public comment motion, portion. On September 11th, we will be having a memorial out at the Veterans Memorial out front commemorating 9/11, and we urge citizens, and it'll start at 10 a.m. And veterans groups are all planning on being there. Should be an emotional day, so thank you. If nothing else, I'm gonna open it for public comment. Anybody have anything? Ralph? Wait, I just invited everybody to the Veterans Memorial,
Good on you.
September 11th.
Thursday,
Oh,
yeah,
no, we haven't done that yet.
good deal.
What did we do?
I won't.
Would you miss one?
The discuss trustee and commission appointments update. Did we talk about that?
We kind of talked about that when we
What about this end zoning?
Yeah, that's why I was asking. We can,
I reached out to somebody, I sent them the application, they're very interested. I will follow up again.
So it's Sumner and Washington, we need trustees for.
Something, I got a list from Evan, I can start working the list, but it's kind of a thankless job and you get paid mileage at best.
But I think we're required by Iowa code.
Yep.
And that position in Washington County has been open for a while because I believe it was in April. That Maud was the clerk and she submitted her resignation. And then it was in July that Chuck Mazur, who was the trustee, stepped out to the clerk. So we do need this position filled. And maybe, like I said, sometimes I know we do have a few of the townships that if you reach out to the trustees, they're like, hey, I know such and so that might be interested. So that might be a route to go to.
Sure. Good. Okay, public comments. Fine.
Make a comment. It is 7:06 and incredibly you're a piece of legislation and I cannot believe that our governor signed it.
Thank you. It's definitely another unfunded mandate. It's either going to be at the expense of the person that serves for free or it's going to be at the county expense, one of the two. And it's another hoop to jump through.
Going to lead to a lot of empty seats in the state.
It will. And then they're going to try to make legislation because we have empty seats, in which case you're going to start combining things. This is the end goal, I believe. That's just my thought. I could be wrong.
Anyone else? Clayton, you want to give a speech about the 9/11 memorial?
Yeah, we just did another say an improvement out there to the memorial out here in front of the courthouse. We added a statue of a Navy sailor. We're trying to get all branches represented out there. It was nice that each one of them statues is about over $5,000. So we had a gal step forward and donate that amount of money. They're out in Minnesota, picked it up. Reached the truck, the heavy duty truck for me to haul it on and the fuel, so pretty much got everything donated out there, and so we're very proud of that, and we try to, several of us spent, Thursday, part of Thursday morning and Friday morning cleaning the moss and mildew out there that happened out there, so we just, and if anybody knows of any family member that, is interested in having their name out there on the papers or bricks, please reach out to somebody on the memorial committee, and there's actually forms out to Science and More for that also. Right now, the one for the brick is $75 and the paver is $200. So there's quite a bit of room on there for what you want to say about the veterans. So,
Does that include the engraving and everything?
yeah.
Clinton, I have a question. So the 9/11 tribute, is that, what time is that gonna be?
That's gonna be 9 o'clock.
So it's 9 on Thursday.
I
Yeah,
said
I
10.
was gonna ask the same question.
Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification.
Sorry to say I won't be able to attend. I got another appointment, so. It's a great thing. They used to have that ceremony down in front of the fire station,
Mhm.
but they started having it out here. I think last year was our first year.
It was very well received last year. I thought, St. John's brought their kids over, if I remember right.
Right. Yeah. St. John's is very involved with the students over there and things like this, so glad to see that.
Anyone else? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. We're adjourned. Thank you.